Hi, my name is Gunnar Monk. I am the Marine in charge of this recruiting station here in Gresham. If you have questions about your qualification, if you're interested in the military, this is for you. And I'm just going to get right into it. This is, as far as qualifications, is derived from the Department of Defense Instructions 6130.03. So if you need a reference point, there is your reference point. Without further ado, the very first thing that we'll ask you regarding qualifications would be implants. I have an implant myself. I have 2 plates, 12 screws. Got that when I was 18. I am now 35. You can do the math. And the thing about it is, with these implants, I can have them removed at any point in time. They are not permanent. And that is what has kept me qualified. If they were something that was permanent, I would potentially be disqualified. But there are waivers out there depending on the severity of what you have. The next thing we'll ask is regarding your counseling. If you've had counseling, whether it's divorce counseling, your parents split up and you needed to have some conversations, that will be asked of you. Depression, or perhaps just life counseling. Those things we need to know of, and depending on what it is, there are waivers out there, but we need to know. Operations, like I said, I have had an operation. It can be as simple as having your wisdom teeth removed, but we need to know no matter how major or how minor it is. Vision, depending on whether it's good or bad, I mean, that does matter, but we need to know depending on what it is. And also, if you have astigmatism, we will eventually find out whether you have good or bad eyesight. And also, if you have astigmatism, it's just best to be upfront about it. If you are scared, we will refer to what is called a DOTI, that reference point I just named off, and we'll see whether you are going to require a waiver or if you don't require a waiver. Asthma, this is a disqualifier if you currently have it. If you've had it, it is not so much a disqualifier. We just need to know if you've had it. The worst case scenario is you go to boot camp, you go into the gas chamber where you breathe in. If you don't have a mask and you breathe in the air, you start choking. If you have asthma and you breathe in that air, you will be in big trouble. So that is one of the things that we need to know beforehand, because we don't want to put you in a compromised position. Tattoos, piercings, brandings, depending on what it is, how big it is, and what it means, that may be a disqualifier. So if you have a tattoo on your wrist, from this point all the way up, and from this neck right here, this white shirt, all the way up, including the point of your elbow, it may be a disqualifier. Get a hold of your recruiter. The information to get a hold of us is right down below, as well as our social media contact info and my email. If you have questions, please use those references. And medication, if you have any prescriptions that you have used or currently use, we need to know what they are. This includes ADHD inhalers for any reason, not just for the use of asthma, but for any reason. If you've had depression or perhaps anxiety, we need to know if you've had any medications that is related to enabling you to do better, or you just took medication. We need to know. So that is it for the portion regarding medical. Now is more into education. Education. If you're watching this and you are a senior in high school, a traditional high school, you are qualified. If you are a graduate of high school, you're qualified. If you're in college and you've been there for quite some time, you're qualified. If you are an individual who's graduated, or not graduated, but rather finished the 10th grade, you are technically qualified. However, there are things that will need to happen prior to you being fully qualified. And for that, please reach out below, give us a call. We will explain that to you thoroughly, because it is rather lengthy. Again, if you're a high school senior or graduate, you are qualified. Marines are fit. That's not a question. Marines are fit. We are very fit. We expect nothing less from individuals looking into this. However, we do understand that not everybody is at the same reference point regarding their physical fitness. So we will get you to the point in which you are fit. The minimum to go to boot camp is 3 pull-ups, as well as in 2 minutes, we need you to do 45 crunches. There is a run time that you need to have had completed regarding 1.5 miles. That will be listed below. If you have any questions regarding physical fitness, or how to perhaps get in shape, get a hold of us. That's what we're here for. That's what we do pretty much every day. We like getting physically fit. We like doing things that keep us physically fit. There is a height and weight standard that we need to abide by. Get a hold of us regarding that because it's a little bit more intricate regarding height and weight. Depending if you are less or more, those are things that we can answer on the phone or via email because unless I know your height and weight, I can't give you an exact definition whether you are qualified. And that is for physical fitness. As far as police involvement, if you are involved in any gangs, you are very likely disqualified. If you've had any sort of citations, we just need to know what they are. If you've had any sort of court hearings or appearances, depending on the verdict, we need to know those, and you may be disqualified or qualified with waivers. We just need to know those things because one thing about being a Marine is that you have to do the right thing when no one's watching, and we want to know beforehand if you already have those traits. And we like to be in good company because we have a belief system that you are the company that you keep. As far as drugs, we will ask these questions. Depending on what they are, you may be disqualified. Depending on how many times you used it, you may be disqualified. We have had individuals who have done marijuana, but they quit. So the thing is, if you have quit at some point in time, you have potentially made yourself qualified again. So depending on how many times you do it, what did you do, how last time you used it, you may be qualified. Of course, there's likely to be waivers, but it's good to know that you are qualified for that. Again, a lot of stuff that I went over is rather quick, just wave tops. I can't be very definitive on whether you are qualified or not. The best case scenario for you or the best course of action for you is just to give us a call. Give us a call. It takes less than 5 minutes to find out whether you're basically qualified. And depending on how qualified you are, you can take the next appropriate step. If there's things that you need to work on, we'll let you know. But for 5 minutes, you can find out whether you are qualified, which will set you apart from everybody else, which will guarantee your future. And I think 5 minutes of your time is worth finding out whether you're going to have that type of future that you've always painted. If you have any questions, our contact information is below. If you just want to have a conversation about different things that's going on, our social media is below. We're more than happy to interact with you. And if you don't have any questions for me, you have any comments that you want to leave down, thank you for your time. And I hope you watch the whole video. If not, there's going to be more videos regarding things around the Marine Corps that's going on, as well as things that might benefit you. Thank you for your time.